The reveal of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate has given us a lot of talking points. One aspect of the game that people seem to be getting the most excited over is the inclusion of Echo Fighters, characters that are essentially straight swaps of other fighters in the game just with a new coat of paint. So far, revealed Echo Fighters are Dark Pit, Lucina and the newcomer Daisy. Across the internet, people are enthusiastically speculating about who the next Echo Fighters will be, and I have some ideas of my own as well. But wait, hold on a second, Echo Fighters have been in Smash since day one, haven't they? Clone characters have been a part of the Super Smash Bros. Series since the N64 days, when Luigi was effectively a clone of Mario, always playing second fiddle. Since then, fan favourite characters like Ganondorf and Falco have been added to the roster as cloned versions of other characters. It's natural, after all, if you're planning on having a roster as often massive as the Smash games, that devoting a lengthy development process to each and every character to make them wholly unique just isn't feasible. So clones are nothing new to Smash Bros, but what is new is the way the community is treating these so-called Echo Fighters as a whole. For the most part, clones have been maligned among the Smash Bros community. Characters like Dr. Mario have been attacked for supposedly, quote, taking another more deserving character's spot in the roster. For as long as I can remember, people would be disappointed to see a clone, and that goes for Echo Fighters Dark Pit and Lucina as well. I mean, hell, who honestly felt Dark Pit deserved a place in the game? I surely didn't. Now that they're known as Echo Fighters, however, perception seems to be changing. It's as if official classification by Sakurai himself has somehow legitimised these characters in the eyes of the fans. So, what's the reason for this? Well, it's hard to say for sure, as we still don't quite know how these characters are going to work, but general speculation seems to be that they will share the same title slot as their respective character and act, in a way, as an extra skin. Perhaps like Alf or the Koopalings, although neither of whom were said to be Echo Fighters, surprisingly, adding more confusion to how they're classified. Where characters who have had enough changes to them will keep their individual slots, like Toon Link or Wolf, these Echo Fighters might not, thereby removing the illusion that they're, and I quote, taking the slot of another more deserving character. Of course, this doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's always been known that clones don't take the place of unique characters for the simple fact that clones are far easier to develop and take way less time than wholly new fighters. They're the extra trimmings on a lovely dinner, if you want to look at it that way. They're not replacing the main meal and simply serve to supplement it. It almost feels like a placebo effect. Because Sakurai has announced that these Echo Fighters are basically reskinned characters, the community now seems to think the floodgates are open to absolutely masses of, quote, new fighters. And I certainly do think we'll get a few more Echo Fighters revealed in the weeks to come. In all honesty, separating the true clones from the, shall we say, semi-clones makes a whole lot of sense. Characters like Falco, Dr. Mario and Ganondorf aren't so much clones anymore as they are variations of a character. Dr. Mario has even received a brand new spike attack which further differentiates him from Mario, while characters like Luigi can't even really be considered to be semi-clones anymore. A massive portion of Luigi's moveset is completely unique, including his final smash. Due to the vast amount of work Sakurai and his team are putting into the game to bring back every single character, it actually seems likely that introducing Echo Fighters is his way of placating the community, when actually there aren't that many complete newcomers after all. Instead, filling the game with, quote, new Echo Fighters like Daisy will go some way to satisfying those who want to see completely new faces in Smash Ultimate. It's actually very clever. That's why I think the community has been far kinder to Echo Fighters than they have to clones in the past. The clear distinction between Echo Fighters and semi-clone characters like Toon Link means people feel they can get legitimately excited about the inclusion of more Echo Fighters, as they know they'll take less time to make, being basically design swaps. This means the community is going wild, wondering which of their favourite, perhaps lesser known characters could be swapped in as an Echo Fighter. I have a few ideas myself. I think it's highly likely that Shadow the Hedgehog will be introduced as Sonic's Echo Fighter. He's the front-runner in the eyes of the community, and evidence seems to be mounting towards it, as his assist trophy has apparently not been found at all yet in the game, seemingly replaced with Knuckles. Shadow is absolutely popular enough to make it into Smash as a Sonic Echo. The next Echo Fighter that I think is a lock is Dark Samus from the Metroid Prime series. Smash Bros. Has been crying out for two things over the past few iterations: villains and Metroid representation, and with Dark Samus, much like Ridley, you've got both. Ridley, however, is the all-new character, while Dark Samus as an Echo Fighter just adds another, easy-to-develop Metroid rep. Think about it as well. Smash Bros. Is a marketing machine for Nintendo, and they know it. With Metroid Prime 4 on the horizon, it makes absolute sense to stuff the game with more Metroid representation than ever before, and Dark Samus is the perfect candidate. Evidence also points to her inclusion. Her alt colour palette for Samus seems to have gone, and replaced with a slightly different scheme instead. Finally, Echo characters give Sakurai a chance to easily add in characters that he knows are wanted, but perhaps doesn't personally believe that they need to be their own fighter. I'm talking of course about Chrom, who could be Ike's Echo Fighter. Now, I don't know if we've seen Robin's final smash yet, but even so, there's no reason why Chrom couldn't appear there and as an Echo Fighter. It makes sense. So that's why I believe the community is excited for Echo Fighters when clones have always been hated in the past. The clear distinction means that Sakurai has been able to get across the message he's always wanted to. These characters don't take the roster spot of a unique character at all. And not only that, but the distinction helps beloved characters like Ganondorf and Toon Link, who are clearly more than just an Echo Fighter after all. Still, the cases of Alf and the Koopalings are curious, and I'd be interested to know what you think. Will they be revealed as Echo Fighters after all, or are characters' skins a whole different thing entirely? Surely Miss Pac-Man has got to make it in somehow, right? Well, time will tell. Let me know in the comments below which characters you think will make it as Echo Fighters, and let me know what you think as Echo Fighters in comparison to clones in general. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button for more videos on gaming and more videos on Smash Ultimate. Until next time, see ya.